Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, July 4th, 2016, Independence Day, as we call it in the United States, NASA had a symbolic story for the masses. What I am going to show in this story is that NASA's announcement yesterday on the 4th of July is another manufactured hoax by the numbers. If you missed the story, it's that the Juno Probe successfully entered the orbit of Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, the fifth from the sun. There's a reason that this story was announced yesterday on Independence Day, which we're going to get to. Where I want to start with is this Google Doodle that was created in the wake of the news. If you're new to my channel, I have shown in the past how Google likes to code these tributes to Masonic accomplishments that are always a mocking of the people. And this Google Doodle before our eyes is mocking all of us who are not Jewish. Look, G-O-Y. Do you know what the word G-O-Y means? Here it comes again, G-O-Y. The word G-O-Y is the word GOY. GOY is a derogatory term for somebody who's not Jewish. Jewish people will refer to non-Jews as goys. And when they use that word, it means an inferior people. And sadly for us who aren't Jewish, we live in a world that is run by Jewish people. That includes NASA, our government, media. And every day, they use their propaganda tools to mock us. On July 4th, 2016, we got a bigger mocking than normal. Let's get into it. So, as we see, it forms the word GOY, this rotating probe or satellite, that's supposed to represent Juno. The word GOY in gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words, a Jewish practice. The word English equals 74. The word gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words, equals 74. Jewish equals 74. Masonic equals 74. This is a Jewish practice, coding numbers into words. GOY equals 47. And yesterday, the fourth day of the seventh month, July 4th, 2016, also happened to be a date with 47 numerology, something that hasn't happened since July 4th, 1917, 99 years earlier. So a special July 4th in terms of numerology. The numerology corresponds with the date, fourth day, seventh month. Here's what GOY means: a derogatory plural word for someone who is not Jewish. The craft Juno also ties in with the number 47. Juno has gematria 15. The number 47 is the 15th prime number. Juno achieves its mission on a date with 47 numerology, the fourth day of the seventh month. This is all part of how you can see that it is a hoax by the numbers. NASA, all their history of reporting their accomplishments is this way, from the beginning up to the present. The Zionist state of Israel was established in the year 47 by a 33-member vote by the United Nations. Of course, 47. This Juno probe, it making orbit around Jupiter, comes in the time of Cancer, the astrological sign. Cancer equals 44, just like space, just like Juno probe. And the moon landing, which was a hoax, 1969, that happened in the time of Cancer as well. Cancer is ruled by the moon, a moon landing in the time of Cancer. This is how things have always been done by the numbers. The name Armstrong in gematria sums to 44, just like Juno probe, just like Cancer, just like space, the first man to walk on the moon. July 4th, as we call it in the United States, Independence Day equals 74, holiday equals 74, Masonic equals 74, Jewish, occult, English, gematria. Very special number to the gang. Remember, Freemasonry is an international order. These people are running things around the world. Here's a headline from not too long ago: India's $74 million Mars mission. This is also more bogus, coded information. This number gets thrown out a lot by the Freemasons running the show. The headlines yesterday: NASA spacecraft successfully enters Jupiter's orbit. Of course, the images are CGI, as they always are, computer-generated graphics. You know, if you just look at the evidence that's before your eyes and all of these reported accomplishments by NASA, you'll notice that the images are never real. They're always computer rendered, meaning they're fantasy, they're fictional. They're no different than what you see in the movies. From the reporting from the Telegraph, they have the update about how Google made a doodle. Look at the tweet time, 9:06 p.m. 9:06, of course, because Freemason equals 96. As NASA will tell you, every astronaut to go into space has been a Freemason. Freemasonry, run by Judaism. Freemasonry, Judaism, very much connected at the hip, very much responsible for the creation of this nation. That's why Masonic equals 74, Jewish equals 74. We celebrate Independence Day on 7/4. So get this. This probe, it launched August 5th, 2011. And the date it launched was a date with 44 numerology, just like space, just like Juno Probe, doing things by the numbers. August 5th can also be written 5/8 or 8/5. 5/8 corresponds with the year NASA was established. NASA started in the year 58, and how come? Because it's been run by Freemasons from the beginning. Freemasonry equals 58, just like secret society. Freemasonry, the most powerful secret society in the world. Most people in high places belong to this Masonic order. So does your uncle probably, or your father, or your brother. I'm not talking about the low-level Masons that join the lodges in your neighborhood. I'm talking about the Freemasons operating in high places that use the lower-level Masons as a front to make it seem like they're a legitimate organization. They are not. That's why when this nation began, there was an anti-Masonry party. The leader of that party died in history on September 11th, a fateful day. So, from the date it launched to the date it supposedly made orbit, a span of 4 years and 11 months. 4, 11, what do those numbers make you think of? What is 4 times 11? 44? And I assure you, that's what they were going for. The 44 connection, doing things by the numbers. NASA received its funding on July 29th, 1958. That's a date with 113 numerology. This is a number coded by the Jews in high places again and again when they mocked the people. In Bava Kama 113a, which is the Jewish holy text in the Talmud, it says it's okay for a Jewish person to lie to somebody who's not Jewish. It's okay for somebody who's Jewish to lie to a GOY, because a GOY is inferior, and a GOY doesn't matter. And the only people who do matter are God's chosen people, the Jewish people. This is what their faith tells them again and again. This is why these people rule the world the way they do, mocking the masses who aren't Jewish. Mainstream 113, dishonest 113, green screen 113, Scottish equals 113. Scottish is the branch of Freemasonry that controls NASA, that runs this nation, and so much more. Scottish Rite Freemasonry. The question becomes, why do they do this to us? Why do they create this propaganda to lie to us, to confuse us, to mislead us? Let's look at the word knowledge. Think about the phrase, knowledge is power. The Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge. The word Freemason and the word knowledge have identical gematria. And that's no coincidence. These are the people who've built our language. The Freemasons are interested in ruling over the masses, being, the conquerors, being the controllers. They have hoarded the knowledge in the time of their existence. This is a secret society that has existed for centuries. And in the time they've been in power, they've been taking all of the real knowledge, real information of this world and keeping it for themselves. And in its place, they've been feeding the people lies, misunderstanding, things that are meant to cause confusion. The opposite of knowledge is having no knowledge. And when you don't have knowledge, you don't have power. So from the Freemasons' perspective, it makes all the sense in the world. They're interested in being in power, being in control. So what do they do to the people they rule over? They give them lies, deceit, misinformation, stuff that's meant to make their head swirl, mesmerize them. All of this, there is a rhyme and a reason to. So many people in this world, they have no confidence in themselves, but they are awe-inspired by the rulers, the people who control the TV and put the information before us, who give us these stories of sending off probes that now orbit planets so far away. This is all part of the control show. Think about what has been done to us from a young age. Once upon a time, we were all this age. A lot of us were in a classroom just like this, probably with even more kids. Think about the things we learned first when we were a child. The first things we learn about are dinosaurs, space, and when you think about it, these are things that have no relevance to our lives. Instead of learning about skills, information that empowers us, benefits us, we learn about fictional tales such as dinosaurs and these things going on in space that likely don't even exist. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no such thing as dinosaurs. That's a story given to us from a young age that's meant to mesmerize us, that's meant to plant seeds that give us a false understanding of this world. If you've never seen my work on dinosaurs, guess what number's coded all over it? 96. And if you take the time to research the history of dinosaurs, you'll find out that when the whole research started in the 1800s, the existing scientific community was very critical of it, saying it's all bunk, it's all being created by people who have wild imaginations. People were taking one bone, 2 bones discovered, and creating these fantastic drawings of these colossal animals based off 1 bone, 2 bones, no real evidence of even what these things were. And if you look at all the people who started the dinosaur knowledge out of the UK, where the first dinosaur bone was supposedly discovered, you'll see they were all Freemasons with all the Freemasonry coding around it. Think about what the story of dinosaurs does to us from a young kid. We learn that the dinosaurs were made extinct by something coming from space, a giant meteor hitting Earth, causing this destruction that wiped out the dinosaurs. And nowadays they say there's competing theories, maybe that's not what happened, but for many of us when we were kids, this is exactly what we were told. And when you think about it, what does this story do to us for a child? You know, we learn about these great beasts, greater than us, that were destroyed by this catastrophe coming from space. It's a story of fear. And the Freemasons at the top, they are always giving us stories of fear because fear is control. The people of this nation have been made fearful from a young age. When people are fearful, they look for someone to keep them safe. And guess who also provides the stories of safety? Yes, the same Freemasons at the top who've created all these boogeymen in the world. From space meteors to, all these infectious diseases that come out each year and then fade away, never to be heard about again, to Islamic terrorism, all the stories of terrorism over the year. All this stuff is propaganda, fear, control that comes through the news, that makes it into the textbooks that kids read about in the classroom. We are a people in this world living under constant tyranny, constant lies, and it's all for the sake of control. We, the people, aren't to have knowledge. We aren't to have truth. The people who rule over us, they think it's just for them. And in turn, they mock us every day with fictional tales, fictional news, Juno spacecraft, This is what it's all about. I can't tell you all the answers. I can't tell you all the truths of this world. If we want to get there as a people, we're going to have to work together. We're going to have to research. We're going to have to combine brains. There needs to be synergy. But before that happens, people first need to recognize what's being done to us, that we're being lied to, why we're being lied to, who we're being lied to, because those people need to be taken out of power. Those people need to be held accountable, and in their place, needs to be put people who have morals, who have integrity, who have decency, who care about others, not people who want to rule over them, control them, and exploit them. People who call us GOY. All right, truth seeker, until next time.